Hello, this is a tutorial. I'd like to talk a little bit more about the lighting setup uh, for both indoor and outdoor. But first, this is the indoor environment. It's kind of like the style. I call this as a cyberpunk. If you don't understand what this means, you can Google cyberpunk. It's a very popular kind of style. You can see super high contrast neon light with a lot of reflections. Sometimes it's high contrast, like hologram, commercial signage, that sort of style, cyberpunk. So I will show you a little bit how the lighting was set up in both indoor as well as outdoor. I can talk about what is the most efficient way to set up lighting. So this is a project made by students. There's some hologram material here. This is basically a robot. I choose the animation as animation asset. Just choose a falling. Word settings, we use a third person robot. We use a BP girl as the avatar, so we can actually see it. Because auto exposure is on, so you see some part will become pretty bright, some part will be dark. It's automatically adjust this when you go to the dark space. Very highly reflective. Okay, so you got the idea what the cyberpunk means for the indoor. As I mentioned in another tutorial later you can refer to, is the way to set it up is you get rid of all the unnecessary lighting, which include the sky, sun sky system, fog, skylight, sky atmosphere, and the directional light. So these are the lights is already being removed. So if I go up or go down, you can see this entire environment. We pretty much got rid of all the sky system. So this is a really good way you can do. What is this light? Okay, we probably, yeah, analyze if you have this kind of above the ground, you probably want to delete. I'll just drag it down because otherwise it will be looks pretty weird. Okay, so yeah, this is how the cyberpunk style was set up for the indoor. Okay, so I will talk a little bit how this can be done for the outdoor as well. If you want to do, let's say, a night effects, and then there's the city, there's the neon light, there's the signage. We are definitely not going to cover this step by step. I will just start with a really simple beginning. So when you create a new level for the outdoor, right, kind of cyberpunk style, most people will use the arc with empty. This is from arc visualization project template, and you have this option. So we can start from here as well. I will explain a little bit what this means for the outdoor. So let me just open a diagram so you can see what I mean. Okay. So by default, when you create a new project in Unreal, using the ArcWiz template, or you can bring into the datasmith. The default template is using the sun sky actor plus exponential height fog volumetric cloud with the post process. So what this means is this is the default setting. If I go ahead zoom in, you can actually see this is the sun sky system. This is basically an actor. If I go to sun sky, double click, you can actually see all the BP script associated with it. You can change the logic if you like. Basically has a component including a including a skylight, directional light, and a sky atmosphere. So this is an important component within it. Okay. The nice thing about this system is you can go to details, you can change the location, you can change the date, you can change the time. So this is how this system is able to change the lighting dynamically, right? So you can make it like evening light, for example. So it's pretty easy to do this way. However, my opinion is if you want to make things easier, instead of using the sun sky, I prefer just do this by yourself, which is directional light, sky atmosphere, and skylight. So you can do it manually. I think it's a good way to learn the relationship between this one. But we're gonna still using an exponential fog volumetric cloud probably for this exercise. So we choose option 2 is create these 3 manually. Okay, so first I will go ahead delete the sun sky system. Right, it's gone. I will probably also delete the well, let's keep everything else here. So here if I go to on light, you can see the floor is still there, right? This one is a volumetric cloud. You can't see it because it's dark. So we're gonna do is make something manually, right? So go here, open the player actor panels, and here I will type, I will actually go to light, drag the directional light here, right? So this is the directional light. And then I will go to type sky, right? So I drag skylight, I will drag sky atmosphere, right? So this is the 3 component we needed kind of reconstruct the sun sky system. Okay, so I have these 3 items in. So you see exactly the same as origin. The only thing you need to pay attention is in your sky, you make sure you have to check real-time capture, right? So this will keep everything updated. For the sun, I will probably change the rotation. So if you rotate, right, you see the sun gonna adjust. Right? So if you have, let's say, let's create something with shadow. So create a cube here, right? So see that is how the shadow looks like, right? With these 3 systems: directional light, sky atmosphere, as well as the skylight. Just make sure you check the skylight real-time capture. That's how it works. So if I do rotate this to really like horizontal, like a late afternoon, you'll see everything will update, right? So that's very nice. Okay, then let's move on, talk about the third option. This one is actually really important, especially when you do the VR lighting, because in VR, you can't really afford to have volumetric cloud. You're probably using a cheaper way to make the sky. This is called BP sky sphere. So I will do that really quick. This is for the VR version, or we call it cheap version. So here, if you type cloud, this is volumetric cloud, right? I can go ahead and delete. So they gone. So you got this basically just the sky. Okay, not very interesting. So if you do wanna create a cloud, in this case, you can use a BP sky sphere. So I will just drag it in, and I'm zero out the location. Okay. So let me explain a little bit what is a BP sky sphere do. This is a blueprint right here. If I double click, you can see is basically a big sphere. Oh, actually, this is the wrong one. Yeah, I will just right click, browse. Yeah, so here's the right one. You can see it basically is a big sphere. With some BP script, you can control the interaction with the sunlight. So if I select the BP sphere, make sure you check refresh material, and you want to link to a directional light. So by doing so, these 2 systems are linked. So if I rotate, for example, my directional light, right? So here if I do like a 12 o'clock sort of, So if I rotate, you'll see the sky gonna actually update. So click the sky, click refresh, right? You'll see the color will update, and you have the cloud there. So it's a really cheap way you can make the cloud. It's a two-dimension cloud. And if I check the values, you can see you can control the speed of the cloud. So let's do 10, right? See the cloud gonna move. You can also change the cloud opacity. Let's do 1 here, right? You see the cloud is more visible. So there's many things you can do to make the cloud, more, visible from the viewer's perspective. Okay. Yeah, I think this is all three options to create the sky system. I prefer either the second or third one because you have the full control. Then let's talk really quick about the I'll call the cyberpunk, right, style. I will using the third option because I don't think we're gonna worry about volumetric cloud. So I was just using the sky sphere, but I using the direction light, make it really low, like a late afternoon or even the evening. Then I will play with some of the artificial light. Okay, so just make sure the skylight, whenever you update the direction, check the real-time capture. Okay, so which is option here? In the skylight, right? You wanna check real-time capture. Make sure it's on. Okay, so let's see, we want to do a cyberpunk. So in that case, usually I will just say, hey, just go ahead, rotate the skylight to a very low value. So it's kind of like, super late afternoon. And here I can click the sky sphere and click refresh. So they're gonna update to that. Okay, so this would be the first. Then you are, feel free, you can create a bunch of new lights. You can create point light, and you can give this very high, contrast color. So that's basically, this kind of high contrast color neon you can simulate. You can also control the attenuations. You can make it smaller. Then you can control the intensity to make it stronger, right? So this combination of this will allow you to get that kind of style, right? Cyberpunk. If you really want to get rid of the color, I guess we can just simply, make everything dark. If you don't really care about the cloud, it's with, evening. I guess we can get rid of this BP. We can even get rid of the fog. Yeah, the best way to do that is you can turn off. So it's pretty dark. For the sky, because we're using a skylight, right? So yeah, well, by this way, we basically turned off everything. Sky atmosphere will be turned off. So that's basically you got a really dark environment, right? Yeah, it gives you the warning because it's still trying to communicate to the skylight. Now skylight is off too. All right, so that's basically the starting point. Then you create multiple lights. I will just do a super quick one. I think we don't have to worry too much. So here I will go ahead, create something with a starter content, and oh, I'm in the wrong location. Right. Starter content, and I go to material, right? And here we want to give some super reflective material to the ground. That's kind of style you have for cyberpunk. Yeah, like marbles. And usually you want to have multiple lights, and you can mix the lights color. Usually it's very pretty high saturated lights, right? So you have that, two lights, and you can play with other values, some reflective metal material, and you probably want to have some particle system, right? Or neon light or white surface. So these are the signature of it. Um, with some hologram material. I'll just drag it here, right? So it's that. And I will probably use, let me see what we have here. We have Niagara system. Let's see, do we have? Yeah, I will just drag something random. Ooh, okay, so that's kind of like DNA. All right. And then I should run this with BP third person. And go. All right. Yeah. So this is basically a starting point. Oh, you still see the sky, so you just simply hide. If you want to disable them, I will show you a quick way. If you type render, you can choose actor hidden in game. So that's the way you can, disable them during the gameplay. Okay, so this three I disabled. So if I play again, you don't see it, right? So you see this super highly reflective surface with some hologram. Yeah, did we disable the? Yeah, sorry, I disabled the DNA. So let's do one more time. Yeah, so now the DNA is showing up. Cool. All right, I think this will be the super quick introduction. Just talk about, if you want to do a cyberpunk exterior night effects, this would be the best way to start. Just using the basic one. You can delete or hide these features. But if you want to do an indoor, you basically just delete them, right? Indoor, you don't really need to worry. So I will save this as, I will call this as Cyberpunk Outdoor. Okay. One more time. Okay. So that's how this style looks like. Yeah, if you want to just add more animated things, it's pretty easy. Let's see if we can find any animation here. I know we have quite a few in the Mixamo. We have animations. So the way you can use animation, you can just drag it in. So that's, how the animation is there. Just blue color, green color, this is animation. Then you can apply some, pretty cool materials to it. So I think we have some hollow pack. I'll just drag this one in. So this would be the two hologram. And here is using probably is a separate geometries. So if I play, right, you have this kind of hologram figures there. Well, the hologram shouldn't really casting any shadows. So let me do this. Yeah, just something from the reality, right? If you have hologram, you don't really necessarily casting shadows, or you do not receive shadows neither. So here we go. They don't have shadows, but they have collision. I think we should be able to disable their collision too. So here, if you type collision, I would say, where is the collision here? Collision preset, right? I would go no collision. Same thing for this collision preset. I would say no collision. Okay, so now if I save and play, I should be able to go through this hologram, right? They are just holograms. Cool. All right, I think I have this first cyberpunk type of exterior. All right, cool. Well, I hope this tutorial will be helpful for those of you who want to create this very popular sci-fi kind of style, with very reflective, highly reflective, full of hologram, neon light type of environment.